as soon as we're live. Awesome. All right, we're good. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so here we are in another Ben Shapiro Show Facebook Live special with our good friend Adam Carolla. Adam, of course, if you don't know him, it's because you're ignorant, but he is the host of the incredibly popular Adam Carolla Show. He's also 3 times New York Times bestselling author whose books are hysterically funny, and he is again teaming up with my other friend Dennis Prager on Wednesday, November 29th at the King's Theater in Brooklyn, New York for an evening with Adam Carolla and Dennis Prager, and they're going to talk about everything from politics to life to pizza toppings, apparently. And if you've never been to one of Adam's and Dennis's events, I've been to one of them, and they're really fun and enjoyable. Adam, thanks for joining me here.
Thanks for having me, Ben.
So aside from raking in some extra cash, why do you do these events with Dennis?
I love being up on stage, but I like doing different things and working with different people. And I've always been a fan of Dennis. And, we come from completely different worlds, but I used to like listening to him when he did Religion on the Line a million years ago. And I'm not religious at all. So I was always a fan of his. Of course, he had no idea who I was because, he doesn't know who Janis Joplin is. He doesn't know. He probably doesn't know Henry Ford. Like, there's nobody who knows less in terms of pop culture references, celebrities, and especially celebrities like myself. So he had no idea who I was. But eventually his producer, or I think his engineer, made him aware of me. We were thick as thieves as soon as we got along because even though we're totally different, we both agree on common sense. And I think if you can agree on common sense, it trumps everything. If you can break down everything, abortion, gun control, build a wall, whatever it is, vouchers, whatever topics. If you are very tuned into common sense, and you're tuned into common sense, and Prager's tuned into common sense, you'll agree on 98% of the subject. Because if common sense prevails, you're not going to land on another side of the topic. So we're a million miles apart, except for the common sense, but that always brings us together.
I mean, you guys get along so well that I know you're doing a documentary together too about what's going on the college campuses. I was lucky enough to meet up with some of your guys who came along with me to the Berkeley insanity. But how's the documentary going? When is that supposed to come out?
It's going to be mid-early 2018. It's going very well. It was a perfect time to make this. They just came to me and said, "Do you want to be part of this? Do you want to work with Dennis?" And, any excuse to work with Dennis. So we are following people like you. We're talking to college professors. We're following ourselves out on stage. We're going to do recreations. It's not going to be just a straight ahead documentary. It's going to be a little more of a film with young Dennis and young Adam and all that kind of insanity. So I think it'll be very compelling. It'll always be funny. It'll be interesting. And hopefully it'll make you think and entertain.
Awesome. Well, Adam, if you missed it, you can also go watch Adam testify in front of Congress. I had to play second fiddle to Adam testifying in front of Congress about bias on college campuses. You never want to sit next to a comedian during a congressional hearing. It's always a mistake. But that was sort of my lot in life. Anyway.
I will say about that, you don't want to sit next to an A student during a test either, especially the one where you can't cheat off of. Because I had that feeling about you, too, which is I'm a horrible student, always was a horrible student, and probably got my improv chops through being a horrible student and learning how to wing it, so to speak, just sort of make it up on the fly. And I flew in late to Washington the night before, slept till 5:30 in the morning, got up, had no idea what I was going to say. And then I saw Ben Shapiro, a student with his 6 pages, 51 seconds a page, totaling out 5 minutes. And I was thinking, what have I gotten myself into? Because I had a notepad with ideas and arrows leading to the ideas. Like, oh, I want to say this idea after this idea, but it's ahead of it on the page. I'll draw an arrow that'll remind me to say it later.
Well, and so I do have to ask you, Adam, are you doing any college appearances? Because I know that every time I do a college appearance now, I have to have these massive security teams. Have you actually done any events at colleges in the recent past? Are you planning to?
It's so funny that you brought that up because I just found an old page with an itinerary on it that I can hold up from June of 1998. This is me and Dr. Drew. And it's us at Northern Illinois and DeKalb, University of Texas, University of Wisconsin, Whitewater, University of Cincinnati, Kansas, Florida, Clemson, Kansas again, Alabama. This is all in the course of like 5 weeks. We played like 19 colleges.
Wow.
And we would routinely tour the country and tour colleges. And I think those days are over. It was no big whoop back then. You just show up with your opinion, say whatever you wanted on stage, and get paid and leave.
Yeah, I mean, are you going to do any more colleges? Have you been invited? Are you just avoiding them at this point?
No, I'm not invited to play any colleges, and I think those days are over. I mean, quite honestly, I don't even know what I would want to tell a 19-year-old anymore. I mean, I know it's prestigious, and I know you can also make some money doing it, but to sit there and have to endure that and hassle it and deal with the security and the safety and the whatever. I mean, we're living in a super weird world right now, right? Like, I just had the conversation with my wife 20 minutes ago where she explained in LA, there's supposed to be some big Antifa rally or attack or whatever it was, this weekend. And I said, well, I'm due to go to the convention center to do so I'm going to interview Sylvester Stallone. I'm going to do a talk on podcasting to like the Wealth and Real Estate Expo or whatever. And then I was invited to go to the Lakers game, and I want to bring my son with me to the Lakers game. And she said, I don't want him going downtown during this Antifa rally. And I thought, well, first off, this is never going to happen. But on the other hand, why does my wife and my son's life have to be ruined by this bullshit? Like just the idea that I'm saying to my wife in 2017, hey, good news, I got seats on the floor. Someone gave me tickets to see the Lakers game this weekend. And she goes, hold on, there's an Antifa rally. I don't know. She didn't say, I don't want you going.
Well, I mean, I assume that she inherits in your will, so it's probably okay if you go and you get killed by Antifa,
Right.
She lives on, but.
Right, but I don't, You put here, don't forget your Make America Great Again hat before you leave the house. But my son is going to have to run serpentine from the car into the Staples Center. And I just thought, what the hell's going on with our society?
It is totally nuts. I mean, you've seen some of it. I've obviously been at the center of some of this stuff, and it is crazy how much people are willing to lend credence to these people. Especially, I was reading a book today that was sent to me, reviewing it for Commentary Magazine about the rise of anti-Semitism in the United States. And I'm not a big believer that there's been like some tremendous rise that Jews have to live in fear. I mean, you know me, I wear my yarmulke everywhere, whether or not I'm on TV or not. Like I'm walking around the streets in my yarmulke. I've never felt unsafe in Los Angeles wearing a yarmulke. I mean, half the city's Jewish. But this book does this whole routine about how the real problem with the rise of anti-Semitism is people giving too much credence to free speech. If only they would just stop with all this free speech nonsense, then we could really, sort of in a common sense way, regulate the sort of speech that people are allowed to say. And then they wonder why people are rioting when I go to speak places. I mean, it's total craziness. And you're getting it too. I mean, I don't know a lot of people who are kind of more moderate on politics than you are, especially because you're not coming from a place where you're deeply concerned with political matters of the day more than stuff that just sort of pisses you off. But if you went on a college campus now, what you're saying is right. You'd get protested. There would be people outside calling you a racist, people calling you a homophobe, and you'd have to wear Kevlar. I mean, I have at a couple of campuses.
The thing I don't get is guys like the aforementioned Dennis Prager are called anti-Semitic. I mean, if you want to, it is insane to me that we are now living in a time where like the number one Jew in the United States, Dennis Prager, who just returned from Israel, when he goes to do a college, amongst the things they call him, they include anti-Semites. Like at this point, we've completely jumped the shark. Like I don't even know what to believe. And also, for those who are accusing everyone of everything, be careful, because it's completely lost its teeth. There is no more. I don't know who the actual racists are anymore, because everyone's a racist. And as I always say, it's never been a better time to be an actual racist. You'll get lumped in with me and Dennis Prager and Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're calling Dennis an anti-Semite, I mean, he's literally the biggest Jew I know, like physically the biggest Jew I know. So that is not correct. Well, Adam Carolla is going to be hosting with Dennis Prager an evening with Adam Carolla and Dennis Prager, aptly named, Wednesday, November 29th at the King's Theater in Brooklyn, New York. Do you know when the tickets go on sale? How many seats there are? What the cost is on that stuff?
They're on sale now. And it's probably like a 2,000 or 3,000 seat venue. It's a big venue. They're on now. And just to put a fine point on Dennis Prager being the biggest Jew, literally, if you were making a Jew smoothie and you put him in a blender, you would have a grande tall boy Jew smoothie. Now you'd be like a medium small, potent.
This is correct.
Potent, but still medium. He would be the biggest tumbler of Jew that ever came out of a blender.
And I'm definitely looking forward to all the alt-right websites now photoshopping memes of me in a blender after this particular conversation. So Adam Carolla, folks, if you don't listen to his show, you're really missing out. Adam's fantastic and has been forever. And as I told him before we went on air, Adam's an inspiration to people like me, because Adam's the guy who realized that you could actually create pirate ships outside of the normal radio channels in order to actually distribute your content to people who want to listen. So Adam Carolla, institution in the industry. Go check it out. An evening with Adam Carolla and Dennis Prager, November 29th at the King's Theater in Brooklyn, New York. Adam, also quick question. Is there a website that people should go to get the tickets, or is it like Ticketmaster? Or?
If you go to adamcarolla.com and hit live events, I think you'll find it.
Perfect. Okay, go and check it out. Adam Carolla, thanks so much for joining me here on the Ben Shapiro Show, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Good to see you, dude.
Thanks, Ben.
Catch you in a bit.